These are all fantasy romances, so I have everything for everyone. Witches, vampires, and whatnot are real, and she is living among them. So this romance is particularly difficult because only one of them is alive, and that's how she comes in contact with a prince of hell. Talk about this series that screams fall basically. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about fall book recommendations when you want to curl up in bed and read about a fantasy world where magic is very real, or it is a gloomy day outside and you want to pick up a book. These will help you then. These are the books that you can read at any time of the year. I read them at any time of the year, but particularly this season is meant for them, so I hope you guys are gonna pick something up from this list, and I'm gonna move from heavier books to the lighter books. So here is the list. Number 1 on my list is Crave by Tracy Wolff. It is the first book in a 6-book series. It is a story of a girl where she moves town after her parents' death, and here at Atmer Academy she finds that witches, vampires, and whatnot are real, and she is living among them. Aren't you intrigued? This one has all of the vibes you could ask for and a romance to die for, and the chapters are extremely short. The chapter titles are a treat because they are so funny, and I love this author's writing. There's just something about her writing that makes me feel related and cozy. So this is the perfect book for this season. I am currently reading the second book in the series, which I think is a drag because the first book had all the new and exciting things and everything we had to find out. So like, the first book is everything. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the later half of the second book, so I can't really judge right now, but I love the first book and I highly recommend it. Number 2 on this list is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Now this is the first book in Infernal Devices series, which everyone starts with to enter into the Shadowhunter world by Cassandra Clare, and so did I. It is about another girl who is going to London to live with her brother, but here she is kidnapped by the Dark Sisters, and this book had so many different characters, amazing creatures, amazing and unique, and romance too, but it is not very heavy, so there's just a subplot of romance you're gonna see. I don't remember everything because I read it last year or last to last year, but I do remember that I gave it 5 stars and it does count for something. So it did have something that I really liked this book, and it had the perfect vibes for this season. So this was the second book. Now let's move on to the third book, Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. It is the first book in the Serpent and Dove trilogy. It is about a witch and witch hunter who are made to marry. The witch hunter doesn't know she is a witch right now, so they are made to marry out of convenience, and so moves the plot. This is a very interesting book with a lot of twists and romance that I really devoured, so I think you're gonna love this too. Like, the writing is a little bit difficult and complex to understand in the beginning, but when you get a hang of it, it is a wild ride. I hope you guys are going to read this book because this is the one that I want to reread because of how much I loved it. It had so many interesting things in the storyline. The characters I loved so much, the character growth that we saw, and the twist was really good too. There are a lot of twists, so when a book has a lot of things that could go wrong at any time, it is such a treat to read them. So I hope you guys are going to pick this one up. Let's move on to the book number 4 and 5. It is a duology. It is Into the Fairy Forest duology. The first book is The Belton Kiss and the second book is The Fairy Key. So there are 2 sisters and each of the book is about them. These both are witches. So in a book there is going to be a problem with her, and then she's gonna end up finding the love of her life. So this is a really short series. Like, these books are 40 pages each, so I think it is perfect when you don't have a lot of time and you want to binge something, or like, you get the point. I really liked them. Like, this was something really new to me. It had forbidden forest, fairies, elves, gnomes, and everything, and they are all not very friendly to each other, these creatures. So it is extremely a delight to read these books, and I hope you guys add them to your never-ending TBR and enjoy them. Like, these are super short, so you can pick them anytime, and they are available on KU. So what more do you want? Now is the time for book number 6, which is Halloween book by Sarah Spade. So it is about a normal human girl who is living in an apartment, but she feels it is haunted. At first she ignores the spooky things that are happening, but then she names this ghost that she believes is living with her, Casper. And one day on Halloween Eve, this man comes in front of her and says that his name is not Casper but Zach. She can see him now because this is probably the only time that you can enter the human world. So it's Halloween Eve and he is there for only 24 hours. Let's see what happens. So this romance is particularly difficult because only one of them is alive. I just love this book. It was also a short read, so you can binge it at any time, and don't think that it is a ghost story because it is really funny and interesting and light-hearted. It's not horror or anything. It had so many funny elements. It had so many cute parts. I really liked this one. I gave it a solid 3, but I think 3 is also a decent read for me, which I really enjoyed. So there's not much to say. I just expected more in certain areas, so that is why this rating. Anyways, let's move on to our last book, which is book number 7. It is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. It is the first book in a trilogy, and it's about two sisters who are both witches, and one of them gets murdered along with some of the other witches. So Amelia, our second sister, is trying to find what happened, and that's how she comes in contact with a prince of hell. And you know, it never goes easy from there. So this book had mystery, this book had romance, and everything in between really, and I really enjoyed it. A lot of things did bother me. I have a whole review of the series in one of my previous videos. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. But in short, in this book, the mystery killer was a surprise, and that is what we love, you know, when we don't know who the actual killer is. So that was really interesting to read. I did not like the second book, so no point going there. It was a drag. And third book, that is the most disliked book in the series, so why go there? Just read this first book, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. It had all the vibes, witches, witchcraft, herbs, and everything like that. And they also have a restaurant, like there's cooking involved, and it was really fun because I think Amelia's grandfather and mother own this restaurant or something. So I don't remember much because I read it a while ago, but I remember that I really liked the vibes of this book, and that's what we are here for. Hey guys, so while editing, I noticed that I didn't talk about this series that screams fall basically. It is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Now it is so big a series to like describe in words, but it is an assassin story. That's where it starts. Selena Sardotian is an assassin who is working under an assassin, and she has no home. But this story is so much more. It has so many elements, fall elements and creatures and everything you would like to read about during the season. So if you still haven't started the series, then I would recommend it to start it this season because it is such a perfect season to start the series. You can binge it, you can finish it, like you have still 2 months to, you know, go through these books. So I really recommend this series. I don't know how I forgot about that, but here is another recommendation of 7 books, I guess 7 or 8 books including the prequel. But I recommend you guys start from Throne of Glass, and that is all I wanted to share. So I hope you guys are excited to read any of these books. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know any other videos you want me to film. My fall TBR is coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, goodbye.